one hiding under your bed. Teeth ground sharp and my eyes glow red.
Welcome to prime time, bitch!
Hello everyone and welcome to day 6 of Terrorthon, Sickening sequels. As we all know, horror movies and franchises tend to get milked to death. It's always been the case, even way back in the 30s, 40s, 50s, they've always been doing it. And it's very difficult when you see a big list of horror movies in a franchise, like, God, how am I going to get through all this? So that's what I'm here for, to help you with that today. What we're going to do is we're going to examine a couple of horror franchises, really well-known ones, and I'm going to tell you what the best one is, and my favourite one if it's different from the objectively best one, and what's the worst one. Simple as that. So, some rules first. So, we're not doing reboots, so if a horror franchise is rebooted, we're ignoring that. We're only going to do the original series of every horror franchise. The franchise must have more than 3 movies, and I have to have seen it, or I can't comment on it. So let's get started right away with the Halloween franchise. In my opinion, and objectively, the best one is Halloween H2O. It brought back Michael Myers and Laurie Strode, and for one final showdown, and yes, the masks change in the movie several times, but I think the horror is good. This movie terrified me as a child. It was the first Halloween movie I ever saw. And the final showdown most certainly does not disappoint. Michael very much gets the tables turned on him. The worst one is, in my opinion, the 5th one, Revenge of Michael Myers. A lot of people would tell you it's Halloween Resurrection. I don't think it's as bad as this though. This movie commits the cardinal sin for any movie. It's really, really boring. And it actually makes even less sense than the 6th one, which everyone says is completely nonsensical, and it is, but at least it's entertaining, and at least you get Paul Rudd in that one. But the 5th one, there's just no redeeming qualities. I would not watch it if you paid me. Well, depends how much, I suppose. Next we've got A Nightmare on Elm Street. Most people would agree that the 3rd one, Dream Warriors, is the best of the sequels. And yeah, I think I agree. It's very imaginative, the horror is still there, the comedy's great. But my personal favourite would be the 7th one, which is Wes Craven's New Nightmare. It reinvented Freddy and made him scary again. I can't think, there's not really any comedy in the movie at all now that I think about it, but it works really well, it's effective. And the worst one would be Freddy's Dead. It's just, there's no reason to watch. It's not scary, it's not funny, it's corny, the story is stupid, it's boring. I can't stand it. It's by far my least favourite one. I might even watch the remake over it. Well, maybe. Child's Play. I think we'd all agree the best Child's Play sequel would be Bride of Chucky. Could we consider that part of the original series? Yeah, I'd say so. I don't think it's a reboot. The comedy is strong. The series finally found its footing for the balance of comedy and horror, and it's very, very effective. As for the worst one, I'm going to say Child's Play 3. Again, boring. I don't want to watch Chucky interacting with a bunch of kids at a military academy, and it pretty much just recycles the plot of 2 in my opinion, and no reason to watch it. And Cult of Chucky is pretty bad too, but no, Child's Play 3, man, a waste of time. Friday the 13th. Everyone agrees the best one is Part 4, the final chapter, which as we all know, was far from the case. Very entertaining, as Friday movies often are, and I recommend it strongly. There's not really a lot to say. I think Crispin Glover's dance is worth seeing, worth the price of admission alone. You've got Corey Feldman in a very young role, stealing the show. It's a great movie. But I'm going to say possibly my favourite one is Part 7, The New Blood. Everyone shits on it, but it's pretty much Carrie versus Jason. It was the first Friday movie I ever saw on television, people saw at all. And I really enjoyed it, and I watched it, and like, why does everyone hate this one so much? I think it's really good. But the worst one, Part 5. What more can I say other than it's not really Jason under the mask? Saw. The best one is Part 2. How can you even argue that? Like, it carries on the Saw mythos from the first movie very well. It's scary, it's uncomfortable. It does everything a Saw movie should. It's good stuff. As for the worst one, Part 5. I had to get drunk just to get through it. It blows. It really does. It's boring again. Story is stupid. They've stacked so much on top of the original plot that it doesn't make sense anymore. Skip this one. And now, rapid fire. Hellraiser. The best one is 2. The worst one is 10. Alien. The best one is 2, Aliens, obviously. The worst one is 3. Yes, I'd rather watch part 4 than this. Now, of course, we didn't cover every horror franchise. There's the Puppet Master movies, the Conjuring movies. I've not seen all of them, and this would go on forever if we were to cover them all. But there's some starting points and some places for you to avoid in these legendary horror franchises. Thank you for watching. See you tomorrow.